Get a clear mental picture and see your goal as already realized. See it as a reality and play that picture over and over again on the screen of your mind. Play that picture on the screen of your mind until you can see it with perfect clarity. Design it, draw it out, do whatever is necessary in order to create that mental picture, and then think about that mental picture. Think about your goal as a reality over and over again. Repeat it until you impress it deeper and deeper and deeper into your subconscious.
If you want something, first get it in your mind. Until you get it in your mind, you're not going to get it in your hand.
The brain changes according to what we focus on. Gratitude primes your brain to see more opportunity. So what this means is you attract what you radiate. Wherever your energy is right now, you're attracting based on that energetic frequency and radiation.
Every thought we have that's a preference or a want or even something we don't want, we're trying to push out of our life, what happens is we are asking for that, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. So what I like to do is be very conscious about my intentions. What is it that I want to manifest in my health, in my fun and recreation area of my life, in terms of my career and my job, financially, in terms of possessions and spiritual and emotional growth? What kind of difference do I want to make in the world? What contribution do I want to make, etc. So when we look at all those areas and we get intentional and sit down and map out what my ideal life might look like, that becomes a very powerful way of asking.
So you need to do all of the work in here. And then immediately when you see a thought that is not what you want financially, reverse that thought. And what I used to do is repeat the reverse thought 3 times to cancel out the erroneous thought. So let me explain. So you have the thought, you see something you'd really like and you have the thought, I can't afford that. And so I would be, I can afford that, I can afford that, I absolutely can afford that. And so I would do it 3 times just because I want to be really sure to wipe out the thought of what I don't want. I can't pay my bills. I can pay my bills. I can pay my bills. I can pay every single one of my bills. So you have to think what you want your situation to be and use all of the thoughts in that way, because your work is that, and then let the universe work out how.
The only way you create change is changing what you link pain and what you link pleasure to in your nervous system, not just in your head, in your gut. That's what controls you. Lots of times in your head, you know what you should do, but your gut takes over. Your fear, or your greed, or your desire, or your comfort, or whatever.
Because you're entering into that feeling of gratitude around it, then the blessings come faster. And then the third level is you're just grateful for nothing or everything at all. You're just in an attitude of gratitude. It becomes a way of living. Which, what does that do? It opens up so that you can receive more of the blessings from the universe, because there's an eternal broadcast that's always happening. It's not intermittent. It's always happening. But are we receptive to it? Are we available to it? So when you're in the vibration of gratitude, then more good can flow into your life because you're not hindering it.
That you have to be a vibrational match for that which you're trying to attract into your life. And what does that mean, be a vibrational match for what you want? If I'm wanting abundance in my life, financial abundance, then I need to act as if I am abundant. I need to be generous. I need to be believing that I can afford what I want, that I can afford to tip people in a restaurant, that I can afford to tithe at church, etc. If I want to be attracting more things to be joyful about in my life, then I need to come from a state of joy. So the feeling state that you are is going to attract more things that will allow you to feel that.
All we have to do is get on to the frequency of the good that we desire. When we do this, it starts to flow to us. Now, a good part of today's lesson is going to be focused on money. And I think that's something you'd all like to attract. But keep thinking. Look at your present results right now. You can only attract what you're in harmony with. So take a look at your income. Take a look at your income right now. If you're in sales, take a look at your sales. I don't care what you're doing. Take a look at the results. That's telling you the frequency that you're living on. We can adjust the frequency. You can, I can.
Being Rosicrucians and being human, that we naturally tend to want to avoid them. We're uncomfortable with admitting negative images into our minds, with giving images life before we're certain they're correct, because we know thoughts are things, and we're hesitant to give energy to anything other than a positive image or a positive goal. Yet, fratres and sorors, visualization is a learning experience as well as a tool of creation.
The soul has such infinite capacities, and we want to set that free. So many people on the planet are like bystanders to their life, and they live as a reaction to circumstances or situations. People become habituated to their limited self. We must consciously participate in our own unfolding. You're supposed to not conform, you're supposed to transform. Once an individual establishes an intention, your spiritual senses start to open. You're living more intuitively. You're living more from your soul. You can begin to affirm a different reality. It's inner work, but everybody has access to this. You have to actually go in and do two things. People that are in the victim state live in the question of what's wrong, who's to blame. When you ask a different kind of question, you'll become receptive and you start to get guidance. It goes back to participating in your own unfolding. There's no one like you. You sitting in your room, liberating yourself is affecting so many people. And so you have to ask, what is the gift I'm here to give? And sit with it until it talks to you.
So we need to be thinking about raising our energy and our frequency to create more and to attract more, because energy is currency and you need to raise your frequency to match higher levels of frequency and energy that support your vision and your dreams. Show up with energy, attitude, and effort.
See, the thing about life, we're gonna die, right? Eventually we're gonna die, but our legacy can live on. The impact can be non-perishable, forever, but it's gotta be built right. And we gotta take advantage of the time we have right now. If you want it bad enough, you find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you find an excuse.
God in the sky is no good to you. Only God in you is of any value to you. The most important thing in the world is what you believe about yourself. That's the most important thing. Your entire experience is fabricated out of what you believe about yourself. And mind you, I always have to point this out. It is not important what other people believe about you. It's only important what you believe about yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be truthful with yourself. You have to be decent within yourself, and then you can believe in yourself.
Nietzsche said, "I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible." The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Are you prepared to dedicate the rest of your life to an idea for which you'll probably receive no material compensation for at least 20 years? How would you answer that? You see, he didn't know how to do that. He didn't even believe he could. Do you know what I found? When you set a goal, you don't have to believe it. If you keep repeating it, you'll come to believe it. If you tell yourself a lie often enough, you'll believe it. Way back in 1900, William James from Harvard, he said, believe, and your belief will create the fact. So true, and so misunderstood. So what do you want? Compare your dream to Napoleon Hill's idea. Just compare it for a moment. Your idea is probably small by comparison. But if you don't know how to do it, if you don't know where the money's coming from, if you don't know where the help's going to come from, it'll probably seem large.
How do I slow down time? And I was like, okay, well, the way I slow down time is to slow down my thoughts. And the way I slow down my thoughts is to be present. You know, you notice if you're just mindless and you're making a sandwich, but you're thinking about, oh my God, what I need to do tomorrow, and all of a sudden 2 hours passes, right? But if you really think about like you know, you cutting the sandwich and what that's like, and you stepping on the grass and what your feet feel like. Time moves really slow. You realize how slow time moves. So I just try to do that. I try to stay in the present, even in the studio. You know, I don't try to have my thoughts already be on when this comes out and this is gonna be like this and how's it gonna go. I'm just like, man, let me just like actually hear the music and feel the music and just operate from this place.
Whenever you think you can't, confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in.
If you want something, I could lock you up in a room and padlock that room, and you ask for that, and you know you have it, right? You know you have it now, and it will come.
Really?
Yeah, it will come, and nothing in this world can stop it.
And you would have to ask yourself, what do I want to believe? What is a thought that I do want to fire and wire in my brain? So with intention and with attention, if you had the person remember what they wanted to believe and keep remembering what they want to believe and keep remembering what they want to believe, they begin to install the hardware. If you keep attending to it, the hardware becomes like a software program, and now that's the new belief.
Yeah.
I can heal. I can find the relationship. And belief is like pregnancy. Either you are or you're not. I mean, there's no in between. So you want to install the circuitry to such a degree that that's the new voice in your head.
Yeah.
That's saying to you, come on, Jay, get up. Come on, Jay, let's go. Come on, you can do this. Come on, make the time for it. Come on, this is your vision. Come on.
It's a coach in your own head.
It's a voice.
Yeah, a voice.
If the voice is no longer the disbelief, the voice is basically your future self talking to you.
If a heart has lost its ability to express love and joy, the forgiveness will open the door. Most of our problems come from blaming others, from not taking responsibility for ourselves. And as I said, if it is true that we are all responsible for everything in our lives, then there's no one to blame, not even ourselves. And every outer experience is only a mirror of our inner thought patterns. Now, this may be a new way of looking at life, because most people like to think that it's all their fault. It's the economy, or it's a husband or a wife or a boss, or it's because we don't have money, or it's whatever. But really, all those things out there are mirrors of what we think and believe inside.
Yes, it is a lifelong journey, but with every single kind of layer you peel off, you open up this huge potential for growth and abundance and opportunity, and you're constantly up-leveling. So even when you take a step back, you're still never going back as far as you went. And that for me is really reassuring. And I hope for anyone listening who's also thinking, what do you mean this is an ongoing journey? It's ongoing, but in the best possible way.
Every person has a turning point, and the turning point comes when you set upon a major goal. When you decide upon a major goal, and since you're going to be working for money in business all your life, you might as well set a goal to earn a lot of money. You see, in life, you can earn a lot or you can earn a little. And if you have a choice, I recommend to you that you choose a lot, okay? Because if you don't choose a lot, by default, you automatically get a little. And 80% of the population out there is wandering around and complaining about successful people, wah, 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 life's not fair, and so on. No, because once you are clear about your goal, you start to see all kinds of opportunities, things that you can do that you hadn't thought of doing, that move you faster toward the goal and move the goal toward you.
You are wired for self-love. You are wired for self-acceptance. You are wired for self-worth. You are wired for self-respect. You're wired for resilience. I mean, when you think about a baby, none of us remember this, but you will literally fall down 77 times an hour and you'll just keep standing back up. So this resilience, this sense of empowerment, this sense of really being proud of yourself, of loving yourself, it is part of your design, your DNA, your birthright, but life happens. And it can happen two ways. You know, if you grow up in a chaotic household, you start to absorb the message that something's wrong. And so you go into modes of behavior to protect yourself. And these patterns of behavior that you create to protect yourself get locked in your brain.
If the best way to predict the future is to create it, which means to have a vision, and even though the vision is in the air or the sky, then build a foundation under your dreams. And when you see men and women who rise from poverty and obscurity to fame and renown, you invariably see someone who had a vision of what they could be and have and do that was far beyond what they were. Every one of us has had an experience. At one time, when we were small, we had a vision of being grown up and having our own cars. And as we grew older, we had a vision of having our own homes and our own families. And as we grew older, we had a vision of traveling and going to Europe. We fulfill all our visions. The wonderful thing is this, is that we always tend to achieve our goals. The problem is that our goals are set so low that even when we do achieve them, they don't turn us on. They don't fill us with enthusiasm. So dream big dreams, if you like, and focus on results, not activities. This is the key. Be clear about the results that you're trying to accomplish. This is one of the keys of peak performance, by the way. All peak performers are result-oriented. All losers or underachievers tend to be activity-oriented. And in activity orientation, what they do is they work very, very hard. Sometimes they work frantically. Sometimes they work longer hours than you do, but they lose sight of the results.
It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and take inspiration and inspire. It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is for sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human nature. Some go one way, some go the other way. But I am enjoying my money, my hard-earned money that I have dedicated my life to.
You're out running on the track, working out, and you start talking to yourself saying, man, my knee is really sore right now. Maybe I'm doing too much.
Sounds like me.
Maybe I need to back off, you know. Man, my lungs are burning. And maybe I can just slow down here. I'll do like an extra 2 sets tomorrow. You know, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right? That sort of stuff.
Yes.
Like that stuff's dangerous.
Yes.
And that's when you just gotta say, you know what? I'm not negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
The deal was already made. The deal was made. When I set out at the beginning of the summer and said, this is the training plan I'm doing, I signed that contract with myself, I'm doing it. You know, throughout that process, you'll start talking to yourself like, man, I think I need to, maybe if we, nope.
Almost all like truly exceptional and mentally strong people have been through hell. It's very few that put themselves through hell when life is great. It's just not usually the case.
Right.
And to achieve the standards that you've achieved, to become the person that you are today, and to have the influence that you have, this global influence on people. Do you know how many people have laced up their shoes because they heard your voice? How many people have just moved into action and changed their life because they've heard you talk or seen you talk? There's a thing that happened, and it happened out of hell. And I don't think it ever happens without that. It's like you had to go through that in order to empower all these other people, in order to become who you are, and that as an example, and then your words as an example, and your describing of it, and then your description of your own shortcomings and failures that give people confidence that it's not like you're this superhuman person that is like a character in a book.
Right.
No, you're a real human being who has real insecurities and real failures in your past and real demons. And you figured out a way to harness that energy and just keep going forward.
Yep.
And not quit.
That's it.
If you are living this mindset that the best of you is behind you, that you are now just working for the man and paying your taxes, doing your 9 to 5 and barely getting by, and you've succumbed to mediocrity, and you hope that your kids live a better life than you, well, hope is not a plan, my friend. Hope is simply not a plan. What is a plan is to go, all right, I get it. As a human, I'm adaptable.
If I can see it, then it must be a reality. And I can make it a reality. So for me, the vision became a reality. So it was only then a matter of following through with the work to get there. And this is why in the book, one of the things I talk about is work your ass off. Because every single time when I had a vision about anything, I had to work my ass off. But it was pleasure. See, that is the great thing. When you go to work and you know exactly why you're working, then it becomes fun, a challenge. It's entertaining sometimes.
This is the trap that most of us are in. Most of us know what we could do to change things for the better. And we spend our time and our energy talking ourselves out of doing those things. And the other thing that I convince people of, because this is so true, it's the littlest stuff. The little things make all the difference. And I could spend hours with you explaining the science of confidence and explaining the science of risk and explaining the science behind courage and explaining habit loops and how they get encoded in your brain. You don't need to know any of that because you're not applying for a PhD in psychology. I have done the work, and what I know is that true change comes down to 5-second windows. That moment that you know you need to do something that feels slightly uncomfortable, and your resignation, your excuses, your self-doubt start cranking up in your head, you gotta move.
We all want to be relevant, but I think we all forget to ask ourselves relevant for what before we chase our relevance or chase success. I think there's a difference between success and profit. I mean, profit does pay you back. Can you do things, and I love money, I'm all for it, but I see a lot of one-way tickets that are, you can get successful, win, have more money, but not be making a profit in your life. How many times we sacrifice quality for quantity? The two don't have to be separate. Now, you may have to make some sacrifices of quantity to have more quality, but I think we should give quality more credit than we do.
Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. And this relates to another one, which is a reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like. And this is why most people can't do it, but you can.
You can't have someone that says, I'm not sure if I'm motivated to do this right now. What you need is someone that is going to execute what they need to execute through pure discipline. Fear is overcome. Hesitation is overcome. It's not overcome by motivation. It's overcome by discipline. That's why it trumps all these bullshit emotions that are floating around in people's head. I'm scared, I'm afraid, I'm nervous, I'm hesitant, I'm not sure if I want to do this, I'm second guessing, all those little things. They're just overridden by one thing and one thing only, discipline. And that's what it's going to take.
The world will slap you in the face continually, and you'll think, oh my God, the world's such a pathological place. When the truth of the matter is that, no, you just keep running into things that you refuse to see. And then you think, well, the world's made of nothing but obstacles. It's like, well, you put the obstacles in your own path, and you did that by developing these complex, self-serving delusions, a story that you tell other people about who you are that isn't true. You're trying to lay out a map that bears no relationship to reality, and you keep wondering why you wander off the path and into a pit. It's like, well, how could it be otherwise?
Gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life. Even before I had any kind of money or any of that, I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more. And this is exactly the same thing that's happening right now. I still remain grateful, and more comes.
I go anyways. I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions. I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. Yeah, I get up and get out of bed.
You know, do I take myself seriously? Yes. But also take seriously the shit I don't. Do I want to know everything? Yeah, but I also take seriously the shit that I don't know. And go, be serious about that you don't know that. Be serious about that this is freaking funny. or at least it's gonna be. So I try to take the comedy seriously. So I think we can take sense of humor seriously. We don't have to create a new category of going, oh, I need to be lighthearted or more careless and carefree. We can just care more maybe about the validity of a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know, instead of it being a relief. Oh, so let me let go of the pressure here. No, it's almost like it's not another bucket. It's in the same bucket of commitment and persistence and endurance. And
if I have unbelievable big dreams and big goals, then I have to go through hard times. It's like hate. The hard times are a requisite for success. And so if you're going through hard times right now, it means that you're on the path to success. And it's not that you're on the wrong path. It's the feeling of being on the right path.
Everything that you think about, you become. You become what you think about. Thoughts lead to actions. Actions lead to behaviors. Behaviors leads to lifestyle. Lifestyle determines your destiny. So everything begins in the mind. If you can control and wield your mind, you can very much determine your destiny. Broke people and successful people are both self-made, but only the rich and successful will admit it. They're the only ones that will admit it. The person that's broke, that's struggling, it's hard for them to admit that they are there because of the way that they think. Control your mind and control your future.
All the stars are here, look.
Oh, no way. What's it called? The Walk of Fame?
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hollywood Walk of Fame, nice. I couldn't give a at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, yeah, but that I'm not looking to get my name on no Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Right,
you know what I mean?
I hear that,
I'm looking to get that belt. Well, to be honest, I'm not even looking at getting that belt because in my mind I already have the belt. The belt is already mine. I carry myself like I have the belt.
You've got to assume that it's already happened. You've got a picture of it in your mind. Mentally, it's already happened. It's happened because I've got the idea in my conscious mind. If I didn't have the idea in my conscious mind, I couldn't talk to you about it. The very fact I can talk to you about it means that I've already got it. Then I've got to get emotionally involved in it. I'm already emotionally involved in the goal that I've got. I've got it intellectually, I've got it emotionally.
You are a mental creature. The only thing that makes you truly unique is your mind. Everything else you have in common. Your mind is what makes you unique. Your body simply carries your mind around.
If you visualize before, you will be more prepared for that moment.
I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get here. They didn't. There's a lot of stressful years. You know what I mean? A lot of tough times. But I proved them wrong. I proved myself right.
Are you not visualizing the fight?
Yeah, always.
You are.
I always visualize my fight. I know, okay, this happened, I'm gonna do this, everything.
The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Why? It's because the rich think about wealth and affluence all the time. And what do the poor think about? The poor think about lack, loss, and limitation, risk, danger, fear, failure all the time. So if you want to unlock your potential, you have to keep your mind on what you want. Dwell continually on the results you desire.
Man, listen, pay attention, guys. It's 1,700 millionaires created every single day. Any one of us can be one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Fun fact, I became one of those millionaires on a Tuesday, a random Tuesday. Wasn't special, wasn't a holiday, it was a random Tuesday. So if I know I can do it, you can do it as well, because nothing about me fit the millionaire description, right? I was just a lazy guy working a job that was only paying me $8 an hour. Until I said, I have to do something, I have to change my life. So I don't want nobody to think that this is just something that's made for only a few people in the world. Yes, it's the top 1%, but remember, 99% of people either don't know or not trying to actually become an active millionaire. So remember, 1,700, and you can be one any day of the week. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody came to save me.
Well, I always knew that I would be successful. It was never a question of whether or not I would be successful. It was just a matter of time. And you're born with the feeling that you're special. I know that sounds, and this isn't bold or anything. Yeah, I mean, you really have a feeling that you are here for something. And some people don't have that feeling. And when you have that feeling, you know. And it's a matter of just pacing yourself and learning as much as you can learn until the time comes when you're out there. And
your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears. See, that's why you have to have big dreams. Because your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears and all your consequences. What makes people go back is you dream too small. See, your problem in life ain't if you aim too high and you miss it. Your problem in life is if you aim too low and you hit it. You messed up now. So when you aim to the moon and you miss, you still amongst the stars. So it kind of keeps you motivated a lot longer, man, to help you push through. Because everybody's going to have a push through moment.
When I had nothing, I already knew I was driving like Ferraris and Porsches and stuff because I always wanted those cars. I mean, I used to work at a video store, and I used to carry an auto trader with me to read on my brakes. And I used to look at Porsches that were for sale. And people always used to ask me, what are you doing with that Auto Trader magazine? I'm like, well, I'm just picking out the Porsche that I'm going to buy.
Which probably got you a lot of crap.
I did. People made fun of me. And that actually happened. And the great thing was, when I pulled up in this car, it was a Porsche 911, what I always dreamed of having. And when I finally got it and I pulled up at the store, you know, I had all these people, some people that were still working at this $7 an hour job were there years after I left. And I'll never forget this, even the boss and stuff, and the reaction of the people was like, wow, that is awesome. Yeah. Is that your dad's car? And all I said to them was, not exactly. And I just smiled and just left.
Frank Sinatra said one time, the best revenge is massive success.
I would rather work 80 hours a week to make $50K and work for myself than have a $75,000, $100,000 job working for somebody else.
You see, a lot of people believe that you got to be really smart to earn a lot of money. You don't have to be really smart to earn a lot of money at all. People think you earn money going to work. That's absurd. It's paper. This is not money. This represents money. This is an instrument that represents money. Money is an idea. It's an idea. It's a medium of exchange that we trade for other people's products or services. And if we want more money, we can earn it. It is not that hard. The earning of money is, it's governed by an absolute law. Think this whole universe operates by law. Winter never follows winter. If I drop this, it's going to go down. It cannot go up. That's an absolute law. Your perception of this and how to get this, how to earn this, and earn it in abundance has to change if you really want to earn more money. Perception.
It has been proven now scientifically that an affirmative thought is hundreds of times more powerful than a negative thought.
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
But how? How? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe.
Life is going to work out perfectly for you. All the right things are going to happen to you in your life. All the right people are going to enter your life, and all the wrong people are going to leave in your life. You're going to have a beautiful home in your life. You're going to have a great career throughout your life. You're going to waken up every day of your life next to the love of your life. You're going to have leisurely Sundays and terrific holidays. You're going to travel and see the world. You're going to meet incredible people in your life who can help, and who you will help in ways that you could never have believed possible. You're going to be recognized as a hugely successful person and appreciated for this ability you have to help others. Please don't worry. Your life is going to work out perfectly. Now, I suggest that you read this to yourself every morning and last thing at night over the next 6 months, and the change that will happen to you will be unbelievable.
If you just happen to see this video, then you are going to be a millionaire. Say these affirmations for 7 days and watch how much money comes your way. My mind is worth millions. I don't work for money. Money works for me. I am always at the right place at the right time. My name is spoken of amongst the most successful people. Every penny I spend is returned to me tenfold, and I get paid to exist.
Affirmations work. I have an affirmation that I've used for a long time. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this experience, only good will come. And I am safe. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. And I am safe.
If you're not setting a big goal, so big and so unrealistic that people laugh at you, you need to go back to sleep and get a bigger dream and wake up with some passion in your life and start chasing it. Now is the time to step up. Quit living this safe, comfortable, boring, average life. Do something that scares you. Do something that's going to make you alive.
If I can do that for 3 more days, I'll be very happy, and a victory would be also nice too.
A victory.
To me, that comes off as a little cocky or brash.
Well,
when you come out here, you know what I'm saying, your first
understand.
pro tournament, you say, I can win.
Oh, I understand that. I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? That's the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's the attitude I will always have. As I would explain to my dad, second sucks, and third's even worse. That's just a feeling.
But on
I
tour,
have.
that's not too bad sometimes, though.
That's not too bad, but I want to win. That's just my nature.
You'll learn. You'll learn.
I have learned something. I think you're better than I thought you'd be.
Thanks.
Are you better than you thought you'd be?
This early, yes.
Realize true freedom is not caring what others think or say about you, because the more you worry about others' opinions, the more you become their prisoner.
When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, Mr. Carnegie explained, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances, because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. All success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life. Write down a clear description of your major desire in life, the one circumstance or position or thing which you will be willing to accept as your idea of success. And remember before you begin writing that your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you. And 2, on page 2 of your notebook, write down a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give in return for that which you desire from life. And then start in right where you stand now to begin giving. And 3, memorize both of your statements, what you desire and what you intend to give in return for it. And repeat them at least a dozen times daily. And always end your statements with this expression of gratitude for the blessings with which you were gifted at birth. I ask not, O divine providence, for more riches, but more wisdom with which to accept and use wisely the riches I received at birth in the form of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever ends I desire.